Hi, are you ready for another walk around a bit of Othona's grounds? I'm standing here on this lovely carpet of daisies. Let's have a look at the carpet of daisies. Beautiful. Earlier this morning, those of us who are living here were doing our qigong, our tai chi exercises out here in the sun. Very flowing, lovely stuff. Anyway, let's stop that and we'll start our walk from the spot where we finished off the other day. Well, here's where our walk finished last time. So let's go back into Othona's grounds and uphill a bit. See you in a moment. About 30 steps up towards Community House, get to a point where we're going to turn right and take ourselves along in the woodland on a fairly flat path at first. I don't know whether you've walked this path, but just imagine yourself going along between the trees with everything bursting green around you. This is a lovely bit of path where you can usually find yourself on your own at Othona, and various plants, flowers coming out now. I think this purple plant here is bugle, and the area ahead is going to be absolutely full of red campion shortly. Here are some early red campion flowers already open. It's going to be all around us shortly as the others come into bloom. We'll walk on and I'll see you in a few more moments. These trees were all planted back in the 1970s. Many of them coming towards the end of their life now, starting to fall down when there's a storm, or get to the point where we need to begin to think whether we'll be replacing them. It'd be lovely to do some concerted and well-planned tree planting here at Othona. And in the wood there are little glades like this, cut by Mark Tebbs while he was groundsman here over many years. Another speciality of Mart's has been the bird boxes sprinkled around the community's land. Here's one, and Mart still comes and empties those out and has a look at what's been using them or not. Last year, lots of birds used them. And at this point, we're coming up towards the southeast corner of our new building, the Four Seasons Studio. There it is. The builders, of course, not on site at the moment. We hope they might be able to come back fairly soon. I'll show you more of that building in a minute. Continuing up the path round the eastern end of Othona's grounds, I wonder if you noticed this spot. You discovered this little bench seat to sit and contemplate quietly, and maybe next time you're here you'll have a look for it. The white blossom up on the left here is blackthorn, the bush that produces sloes in the autumn. And this is, it's just a bit past its best now. This is the time, but it's our first real white blossom, and blackthorn is the dominant plant in hedges hereabouts because of where we are and the nature of the soil. We've got hawthorn too, but blackthorn seems to be really the strongest native hedge plant. We're in another lesser known glade here, this one with 2 or 3 apple trees. These were probably planted back in the 1970s when my predecessor's warden, John Robson, was a retired fruit farmer from Essex. He loved putting in new fruit trees. Walking on round now and turning back towards Community House, which you can perhaps just see in the distance. Where the old art room used to stand, we're now in the midst of the building of our new Four Seasons studio. This is looking at it now from the west side, from the side of Community House itself. And the building you can see. What you can't see is where the decking will be that wraps around the south and western sides of it, so towards where I'm standing now. Hope you'll soon be able to visit the finished building. Well, to finish this walk, I've just come right back up towards the top of Othona's land. You can see Community House and the sea behind. Right in front of me, our pond. Did you know we had a pond up here? Built a few years ago and full of life now. Swinging around, there's just the access to the house where Robin and I live, and there's a ground floor flat that's occupied by various other people at different times. And take a walk down this track. Earlier on I hesitated when I identified a little purple flowered plant called bugle, partly because I didn't want to mix it up with this chap. This is ground ivy, loads of that too on the among the grass during this walk, and there's so much to see underfoot at this time of year. We've got parts of our grass, of our meadows, full of little wild violets. There are cowslips, all sorts of lovely plants just coming into bloom and announcing that spring is fully sprung. And I'm going to finish, having shown you the white blossom of blackthorn earlier on, with this white blossom of the hawthorn bush, right up on the boundary between us and the main road. No cars going by this time. And of course the hawthorn bush, its alternative name, the May, announces where we're heading to at this time of year. Thanks for coming on this walk with me. See you next time.